You're starting to sew, everything seems difficult and patterns are like a whole new thing. But don't worry, it's normal, so I'm bringing you 35 projects for beginners. Of course, I'll leave you everything linked in the description box down below, as well as at the end of the video in a whole list called 35 projects for beginners, sewing projects for beginners. And if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And I leave you here my link for my Instagram account as well, in case you want to have a look to my everyday stand, because it's happened to me as well. You don't want any closures, any zippers or any buttonholes to do, because they are difficult and they're scary. So to start little by little, you can start with these projects. For example, these little bags. This was a shoe bag I made for traveling, and this was my son's party sweetie bag to give us presents. They are really good, really easy to sew, but they are different styles, so the hemming and all the sewing inside is different, so have a look because they are really useful. Now this one is for holding cards. And with the same purpose of traveling, I made this bag for laundry. It's like a cushion, so it's really easy as well if you want to make it into a cushion, because it's the same procedure, it's the same method. So it's really easy, and it's good because when you travel you can put your stuff in there and then just throw it in the washing machine, no problem at all, really easy. And for us with curly hair, I made once this hat, this little hat to slip in, so your curls stay in place and you don't get up like I don't know, like something else. So this is really easy to do as well. It is sewn in a satin, so it's really soft and comfy. And if you need to have your phone by hand, but you haven't got any pockets, or you're always carrying it in your hand and then you leave it in places and you don't know where, like me for example, this one is ideal because it's a little bag to put around your neck, and it's all bias tape. It's hemmed really easily and it's sewn in under 10 minutes really. So it's good to have by hand, and that way you don't lose your phone. And this one is one I love. It's a little pouch bag for a bar of soap, and it is to have it in a drawer. I love the smell of my scarf drawer when I open it, and it's because of this. But you cannot leave it as it is because the soap can stain or can make a mess as well. So it's good to have it in a little bag. It's really easy. You can make it with a little rectangle of material all hemmed around, and that's it. So it's good for beginners. And if you're starting to sew, this one is a must. When you're cutting your fabric, they move a lot. So it's good to have some weights, some pattern weights to keep them in place. And these are really easy to make. It's just 2 squares of fabric sewn together on 3 sides, and the 4th one you have to twist it a little bit so you get the pyramid shape. It's really easy to do, and not only for pattern weights. If you make it bigger, you can make it into a doorstop or even a big cushion. It'll be really fun. And last April I made a special of And last April I made a special for readers. I made a cushion for reading, I made different bookmarks, and then as well as an envelope, a little pouch bag to keep your book nice when you travel, or when you put it in your backpack or in your handbag, so it doesn't wrinkle or get any mess around. These are really good, they are really easy, and even though this looks scary, it's not. It's just rectangles and triangles of fabric sewn together, and it's really easy to do. You won't have any problem. The same as the bookmarks, They just need to turn it right sides out and sew on top. No zips, no buttons, anything. So, and this one, even though you see a button, is just an elastic, so it's not trouble at all. Oh, I'm going to sit down a little bit. If you like sewing but you're not into sewing little things, but maybe more accessories, you want to sew something you are going to use yourself, you can go on and make a tote bag. It's really easy to make. I haven't got it because I gave it away, but it's really easy. It's 2 rectangles of fabric, the handles are the same fabric as well, and you make it in no time at all. So go ahead and try. And if you want to make something a bit fancier, you can get yourself one of these bamboo handles at the haberdashery and sew yourself one of these 60s style bags that are really fashionable and nice, and they are not difficult. They could see, you can think they are difficult, but they're not, because given it enough space, you can sew around the handle with no trouble at all. And if you have long hair and it's always bothering you, like in my case, that I'm always with my hair up, you can make some hair bands or hair ties as well with little scraps you have around. And I love these two ones. Years ago I made this for her neck warmer, and it's amazing. It's really nice and comfy, and I don't know if it happens to you, but for me, if my neck is covered, I'm not cold at all. So this is really nice and soft. I won't try it on right now because I'll melt, but I love it. And the same with this little round one, the infinity one, I made for my son. For children, scarves are complicated sometimes and they end up losing them, but this one are lovely because they just pull them down and they are warm all day long. Really nice and cozy with this material, and you can even make it longer, fold it and have an infinity scarf. Oh, and of course, if you like cooking, you can make yourself an apron with only 2 measurements, the height you want it to be, and around your waistline, you can make a nice apron for cooking, and you'll feel amazing because you've sewn it yourself. I love sewing in themes, like the special I made for readers, and you can always sew stuff for the beach. Really easy stuff. I've sewn a lot with plastic. It's really easy to sew, even though it looks a bit scary. It's tablecloth plastic, so it's really affordable and easy. And you can make a sunglasses case or a phone case as well to keep your phone under control. And the last one I made was this bag for toys. The other one I had was all rotten. It was terrible because it was 4 years old. And this one is really comfy because it only has a handle, so you hang it like a backpack, but it's really comfy and really easy to make. And of course you can make it into a whole beach bag as well. It doesn't have to be for toys, and it's really good because everyone in the family will know where everything is because they can see it. And if it's broken, like it happened to me, or if you want to make a fancier one, you can make a parasol cover. Mine broke, as I said, and I made this one the same material as my beach bag. It has a handle and it's all hemmed with bias tape, which is really easy and nice to do. So go ahead and make one. And if you want to sew something for the house, but it looks a bit intimidating, you can start with things like this. This one, for example, is a bag that holds your plastic bags. They're always a nuisance, they're always in the way, but this is a way to keep them in place. It's really easy to do, it's open both ways, but it has elastic bands so the bags don't fall. So it's really convenient to have. And if you are sewing, it's because you have a sewing machine, and if your sewing machine didn't bring it, you can make it a cover to keep it covered, to keep it away from dust and sunlight, for example, in case it's not plastic like mine. I made mine this way, but you can make it in any material you like. It's all hemmed with bias tape and it's really easy to do. Oh, and I love this basket. I made this basket. I make it a dust-free basket because it has this on top, and I made it for the sewing room in my case, for all the little scraps that aren't worth anything. You cannot do anything with them, but they can be useful to fill cushions, for example, the little pattern ways we talk about, or even the tailor's cushions, which are ideal, not only for people who sew, but for someone who has to press or iron loads of clothes. This is ideal. It gets the shape of the clothes, and for shoulders and things like that, it's really convenient to have. And if you feel brave enough, you can even try to make a cover for something you have around the house. This is a puff, it's been in my family forever, and I made a cover. It's even reversible. The other side is orange. So it's easy to do. You just have to trace the shape of the stuff you want to cover, and that's it. It's good because you can take it off and put it in the washing, no problem at all. And we've been using it forever. We use it every day, and here it is. Let's go ahead with the elephant in the room, which is clothes. At some point in life, you're going to want to sew something to take out on the street and be proud of wearing it, and you cannot do that with the tailor's cushions. So there are some things that are easy enough to start sewing for beginners, so you can try. For example, the Japanese style blouse, the drop shoulder blouse, because it hasn't got a sleeve, so the shoulder continues down to the sides. It's really easy, it's really wearable, and it suits any body type. I think it looks amazing on anyone, so have a go at it because you won't regret it. And the drop shoulder is the same method with a kimono, sort of. So you can try one because with a colorful fabric, it looks amazing, and some fringes at the bottom, really nice. The same as the off-shoulder blouse, which is really easy to make. It's just 2 rectangles of fabric, and the top is a ruffle with an elastic band inside, which is really easy to make and really nice to wear. It suits any body type and it's amazing. And you can even make it longer as a dress with some ruffles at the bottom. Ruffles are really easy to make. Again, you just need a rectangle of fabric to gather on top and to sew on the one on top. So that's really easy, and you can make yourself a dress in no time at all. Like this one I had with remnants, which is really fun to wear and really colorful. And if you like something a bit more discreet or not with so many ruffles, you can always make a shift dress, which has like a sort of A-line cut, which is really, again, it fits anyone, and it's really nice to wear, and it doesn't go out of fashion or anything. It's a staple in your wardrobe, so it's really good. I added sequins to mine because I didn't have enough pink fabric, but I love it. It's really good. And skirts, of course. Skirts with elastic bands are really easy to make. You just need your rectangles of fabric and to sew it on top. I made this first one for my husband's grandma, and it's really easy to make. You can make it in under an hour, and it's really comfortable as well. And this emerald color one is really nice because it's cut on the bias, so it has a really nice flow to it. The only thing is that the elastic band is not sewn like the other one, it's only sewn on top, so you have a slick finish on the front, on the top, but it's also really good to make. But if after all of this you're still not convinced about cutting fabric from scratch, you can start with transformations. You can upcycle stuff. I'm a fan of upcycling. I love upcycling. This dress I'm wearing was a robe that my mom had 40 years ago. My grandma made it. So I transformed it into a dress. It's really good because it boosts your creativity. You learn a lot because you see garments already made on the inside, so you get different ideas that maybe you didn't know how to do. And apart from that, you can make lots of stuff. A really easy one I made for a friend is to cut the sleeves of a denim jacket and make it into a waistcoat. It looks amazing, and that way. Another upcycle that is a classic is to transform a pair of jeans and make it into a short one. I made that with my husband's pairs and it's really good. I wore it to the beach, at home, to people's houses. I wore it loads and it's really comfy and really good to have a nice and fresh outfit when you don't want to wear anything really. And a classic now in my wardrobe, because it's become like a staple, sort of, is the tracksuit skirt. I made it out of my husband's tracksuit that he didn't wear anymore, and I love it. It's so comfy. It's like being in your pajamas, but outside and with a skirt. So it's ideal. I love it. I love it so much. It's a problem because I wear it almost on an everyday basis, so I have to wear it a bit less, but I'm in love with it. Ooh, that was a lot. I think sewing is really useful, even if you don't sew for yourself, but you sew for the house or make little things that helps you in your everyday life. Maybe it helps you to keep a bit more organized, or to protect things you love, or to take things to the beach or to places in a more organized way, or to keep yourself warm in winter. Everything is useful. We use all of this on an almost everyday basis, and everything survives, everything is used. I haven't bought clothes for 4 years and I love sewing. I really like it. So I'll leave you a link to all of this here in a list, and in the description box down below it'll be separate, each video with its link. And if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. I'll really appreciate it, and that way you don't miss anything. And tomorrow there's another video of 50 things you need to know before you start sewing. Ay, que me asfixio.